One of the exhibitions that I'm hoping to do is on smoking, and this could well be the poster for it.
It's a good one.
It's fantastic. I presume it's a Cuban woman. She's smoking a cigar, or at least she's chewing on one, and she must be in a market because she's got a basket on her head with some little creature in it. And
it's a magazine called Everybody's.
Everybody's.
It was fourpence. Is that Australian?
Fourpence. Well, this actually is the English Everybody's, but it was an Australian magazine as well. This one's the English one.
And what's your focus going to be on smoking? Advertising?
Yeah, well, advertising's a big thing. Often, covers of books, illustrations in books. But advertisements, yeah, that's sort of one of the major things.
First edition of the Magic Pudding.
Yep. $2,100 we paid for that. But you can see how different it is to the modern editions. It's much larger format and much more generous margins and spacing.
Better paper.
Yeah, we've got other editions of it. In fact, that's quite a nice one. But yeah, the paper's not as good and smaller type. And then that's another later one. And then of course it comes down to Puffin. They did it as well.
3 shillings. Yellow paper.
Yeah, well, penguins do tend to go like that, unfortunately.
So this is the children's book.
This is part of the children's collection, yeah. Which is what I'm going to feature in the next exhibition. It's children's annuals. They're beautiful things. Oh, God.
The big book of school stories.
The
for
Oxford
boys.
ones are just fantastic. I mean, look at that. They're just glorious books. And they did girls' ones as well, of course. There's another boys' one. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Were they aimed at the upper class or about the upper class?
I mean,
or?
I used to get them. They're Christmas presents.
Yeah,
I suppose.
but they're about the upper class, but they're
Well,
not exclusively aimed at.
Yeah, I mean, they're just typical kids' stories. Like they're set in boarding schools. I
Boarding
suppose their primary market was parents buying them and sending them off to boarding school
Yeah,
in a package for their sons and daughters who were.
because I used to read the
away.
Eagle and
Yeah, Eagle.
Rupert books
Yeah,
and
well, they're all here.
things like that, and they're all terribly British.
Yeah, well, they're English.
But,
I mean,
but
there is no way you can get past that. They
But-
are English things because the Americans never did them. I don't know why.
didn't they?
No, you don't get American annuals.
Really?
Yeah, there's the Eagle. I mean, we've got a lot of them.
Yeah. What
But of
year
course,
was
the
that?
Eagle, well, that's 63.
Yeah.
The Eagle came out, it was a weekly paper,
Yeah.
which we've got a lot of those as well.
Yeah, I think I subscribed to it, or my parents subscribed
yeah.
on my behalf.
I loved all these things. I used to absolutely love these stories. You'd go to other kids' places and they'd have different ones, and you'd read them. It was just beautiful. Yeah, there are boys and girls, of course.
The Empire Annual for
girls.
Australian girls.
Beauty of that was they would have stories set in Canada, stories set in South Africa, stories set in India, stories set in New Zealand, stories in Australia, and they'd market them with the different title, but they all are all essentially the same, but they'd be able to market them to kids in all of the different countries. That's a popular one. And of course, Viz. Have you ever come across that? It's a modern
It's the obscene
thing like
one,
this.
isn't it?
Well, it's a parody thing of all of this stuff. Yeah. Dandy. That's another. Dandy and Beano annuals are worth a lot more than the others. There were lots and lots of these weekly papers that came out. And that's in fact Billy Bunter. Knockout.